Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video on the Icewolf con that I created about a month ago for the F12 dungeon. Now, this video is definitely overdue. We had it like couple. It was about a couple patches ago, like I would say 3 or 4 patches ago or whatever, that we had a poisoner where the poison actually applies after the boss's turn. So that definitely ruined our team comp when I first originally made it. But there's going to be two major changes that you need to make in order to make it 100% again, okay? So the first change is that you need to bring in the revive skill. On the first video that I created, I said that the revive skill was actually optional, but in this case, with the change of poison, you need to bring in the revive skill in order to revive Icewolf, to apply another counter, to give Nathalia another buff, and to give Santis another turn for poison. And the second major change that you need to make is that you need to make your Ice Wolf on 3k HP. The reason behind that is because if the Ice Wolf gets revived, once the revive skill is applied, there's a small chance that the boss will actually throw the bomb on the Ice Wolf. If that does happen, your Ice Wolf needs to be tanky enough to tank up that bomb and not die, because if the ice wolf actually dies from the bomb, then it blows up your whole team. So 3k HP seems to be the sweet spot. Mine's at, I believe, 3100. And just for the video's sake, for people who haven't seen my stats yet, and that haven't seen the first video, I will go ahead and show my stats once again, just so you guys can kind of compare and contrast with your personal team if you're deciding to build it. So yeah, let's jump right into that. So first one on the list is definitely Nathalia. Nathalia is going to be the most crucial component of your team. Mine's at 4,500 attack, 291 crit damage, 107 crit rate. Mandatory to have 100% crit rate because you don't want to miss a crit on the imps once you get to the boss stage. And it's under 140 speed because you want to be slower than the boss, but you still want to be faster than the waves. So 136 speed seems to be okay. I don't know the base speed for the waves, but it's probably like 130 or something like that, or maybe it was like 125. I actually don't know. But in terms of bare minimum stats, you probably want around, if I remember correctly, it was around like 4,100 attack with like 240 crit damage ish, in order to clear up the waves and in order to clear out the imps. So these are my stats, and she's on full broken gear. And I just put the best sets that I have on her, and she is A5 now. I believe in the first video she was actually only A3 if I remember correctly, but bare minimum for Ascension I would say is an A2 now, just because I mean, in the first video, I said that A2 is not mandatory, but I would say it is pretty mandatory now, just because that it's so hard to make up the additional buff that you get from the passive, the damage from the passive. So I think that A2 is mandatory, which is why I will recommend just if you're a newer player, go ahead and reroll for A1, A2 Nathalia. Yes, it might take a while, but it's definitely worth it. You're going to be accumulating a lot of gear. You're going to be progressing 10 times faster than what you would be progressing if you were to go to the Queen's 12. Okay, so that's just my personal opinion. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next unit here. Next one on the list here, guys, is going to be Santis. My Santis is around 18k HP with 63% focus. 60% focus seems to be doing all right for me. I haven't failed a single run of S12 yet with 60% focus, so go ahead and try to get 60%. If you have to run a focus necklace, feel free to, as long as you can get her tanky enough. And having your Santis and your Mary tanky. So in the first video, I did recommend about 15k HP, but honestly, if you want 100% consistent runs, I think if you can get your Mary and your Santis to around 17 to 18k, in order for Mary's S2 to apply to Nathalia every single time, that would be more beneficial for your team. But if you can't, it's okay. Just do what you can for now. But if you can make your Santis and Mary tankier, please do it, because with Mary's S2, in which I'll talk a little bit about it once I get to Mary here, but just make sure that Santis is a lot tankier. 18k HP, 16, 17k if you can, and 60% focus, and she goes first or second, and your Santis would be good. So with Mary, we just want to make her extremely tanky with 16 to 18k HP. Again, in the first video, I believe I said like 15k HP, but with more analysis, her S2 actually procs on the lowest HP every single time. So, I mean, I had a bunch of people ask me in Discord and ask me in Twitch, why is the boss always surviving 1% HP, 2%, 3% HP? Which probably because Nathalia's S2 is not proccing on Nathalia, or sorry, Mary's S2 is not proccing on Nathalia. So in order to mitigate that, you just want to make your Mary extremely tanky, so 16 to 18 HP along with your Santis, guaranteeing you the S2 proc from Mary to go onto Nathalia in order to do an additional couple percent on the boss to help you clear that boss stage. And you also want her to go third on the team in order to proc that invincibility. Now, in terms of gear, I just have her on broken sets and everything's just maxed out. All right. So now for the underdog Icewolf here, we need Icewolf to be on 3k HP. Mine's on, I believe, 3100 HP. So basically, you need him to be on 3k HP now because if Icewolf gets revived and if the bomb gets thrown on Icewolf, if he dies from the bomb, then it's going to explode your whole team. So in order to tank out that bomb, the sweet number is around 3k HP. So make sure your Icewolf is on 3k HP so you don't die from the bomb if your Icewolf gets targeted. Okay, so that's pretty important. That's the second major change that you need to make sure that your Icewolf comp has, and obviously just make him go first or second, and Icewolf would be good. With all that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Just make sure you guys change those two major changes, bring in the revive skill, and make sure your Ice Wolf is on 3k HP, and your Ice Wolf combo will be as good as new. So if you guys have any more questions regarding this team, guys, let me know down in the comments. Join my Discord. I'll have it in the description. Or you can catch me live on my Twitch, which is on the screen, twitch.tv/Andy_NSG, and ask me live if you have any questions, all right? So with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, this updated video on the Ice Wolf comp, and good luck in farming.